Welcome back. It is time for another build, and this time we're going with the Master Grade Super Deformed Freedom. So there's a lot going on here. Okay, so a while back I did a Super Deformed Sazabi, and I think that video is still on the editing floor somewhere. But either way, the Super Deformed was a quick, easy build, right? Like 20-30 minutes tops, no tools. And the resulting model, super cute, right? I mean, to the point the lady of the house has kidnapped it, and it is like permanently hangered on the dashboard of her car now. She just sits there, she loves it, okay? Of course, I've done master grades, right? We're talking 8-10 hour build, 1/100 scale, right? Everybody knows what a master grade is. So when I saw a master grade and Super Deformed put together, I think I kind of short-circuited for a second. I was like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. And it's typical in my life. Curiosity won, and so we're going to figure out what this is all about. So we'll do our usual here. We'll unbox it, time-lapse out the build, show it off when I'm done, and then finish up talking about it. All right, let's see what a Master Grade Super Deformed starts life as. Okay. Nice sheet of sticker style decals. Some grays, some blues. Some reds and blues going on here. More reds, blues, blacks. And then our instructions, which is probably going to be the most interesting part here, really. I like that it tells you which runners you need with each part. That's nice. Ooh, lots of nice pictures. I can get it without the reflection all over it, but sorry about that. Quite a bit of decals. Okay. Usual painting guide. Front views, rear views. Interesting. Okay. Came in about 19 pages. This should be fun. I'm ready to get to this one. let's take a look at it. Time to talk about this guy a little bit. So right off the bat, I will tell you that all of my assumptions, all of my preconceived notions, all out the window, okay? Every single bit of it. So this guy took me right at 4 hours to build. And for me, that is like real grade with like an inner frame kind of model. That's kind of the time frame I usually do one of those in. So I was really surprised that, you know, the regular SD took me like 20 or 30 minutes. Step to the master grade SD and it took me 4 hours. So a big jump there. The instructions on him are pretty straightforward. There are a lot of directional specific kind of parts. The instructions do a good job of calling them out. There was a few areas that were a little vague, but really once you get the parts kind of together, you realize there's only one way they could really go together. So not a big deal there. Lots of movement. I mean, the whole backpack area obviously moves. The rail guns fold in and out, and there's some cool spots like the rail gun, the nozzles here up on the armor, they're geared inside. So when you turn one, the other one moves. So that's really cool. There's a lot of like keyhole gated parts. So the whole backpack really, shoulders, the rail guns, there's several of them where it's like a nub with a little key spot, and then the part that connects is like a keyhole setup. And so you have to rotate it like 180, get it to line up. And then when you turn it, it locks it in, right? And so like the shoulders, obviously you can still move. The backpack, you can still move, but you're just not really going to move it enough that it would ever come off, which is super cool, right? That makes it a really solid model. I mean, you can move the backpack fins however you want, and it will not come apart on you, which is really cool. I think maybe my only complaint is the decals. And if you're a decal person, you'll want to see this. So the decals, there are probably only about maybe 15 unique decals here. And if you look at the columns, there's like 10 or 15 of each one, right? So a lot of repetitive decals. I did some of the ones that I thought looked cool, some of the bigger ones. And I mean, I got it to the spot I kind of liked, but then once I realized just how repetitive the decals were going to be, I stopped on them. It's just me. Otherwise, it is a solid model that I really cannot say a bad thing about, and I am surprised. I honestly am. I guess I just had a bad assumption about it. I really did. The looks of the SD are growing on me. The first time I did one, I was kind of like, eh. But I think I did the Sazabi, which is my favorite model. So, of course, I liked it. And the lady of the house loved it. She thought it was cute as all get out. So she stole it from me. And so now I see, I'm like, this is really a nice looking model. I'm really surprised. Here is a real grade Gramps. I figure most folks know real grade, high grade size Gramps is a pretty good comparison. So that kind of gives you an idea of the size you're looking at, which is kind of nice, right? The other Freedom I have is the Master Grade Extreme Strike Freedom. And of course, that thing is huge. And I thought about bringing it down to compare, but honestly, it's such a massive difference. I was like, yeah. But like from a display standpoint, obviously this guy takes up a whole lot less space than a non-SD Master Grade Gundam. So definitely if space constraints or something, I could totally see why you would grab one of these. It was a nice build. It was a challenging build, fun build, and I'm sold on them. So I'm going to be looking around to see what other Master Grade SDs are running around out there. So of course the question always is, right? Somebody asks, well, of course. I mean, I am of course going to tell them, go grab it, okay? You'll love it. Freedom is one of my other favorites. So of course I love the look anyway, but just, it's a solid build. It really is. There's just nothing bad I can say about it. And that is that. So I had a couple ideas for the show I was going to throw out here and see if anybody had any comments or feedback or want to be part of the people maybe trying this. So I thought of one thing that was going to be like a viewer showcase where folks can send me pictures of their builds, kind of give me a quick explanation. And maybe during the intro, right, take a break and be like, hey, here's so-and-so's build. Check out their, whatever you want to send me, right? And I mean, part of it is so many people have such awesome builds, right? And you see what I do, but I'm speed build, and I'm a very technical builder, right? I mean, I can follow instructions, I have patience, I can tweak and tune, do all that kind of stuff. I can come out with a good speed build. But I have zero artistic ability, right? You throw a paintbrush in my hand and I am done, okay? But there are a lot of people that, from here, they're artists and it looks beautiful. And I would love to show some of those off. I have somebody already lined up to do the first one of those. Maybe in my next video, I will do that. And this particular person asked to remain anonymous, which we can do, right? You can just comment on the video that comes out and, put comments there. I can see where they may not want their name out there. That's fine. It's a little scary throwing yourself out there for everybody in the world to comment on. But at the same time, I have found that this group and community is so nice. And so that's why I always love when people comment. The other thing I have been thinking about and trying to figure out how to pull off, I have done a guest builder here at the house, and I've got another family member that wants to do it with me, so I'll do another kind of in-person guest builder here soon. But I was trying to figure out how to do like a virtual guest builder. How do I get it to where me and somebody else build the same model, and then, like the intro, unbox, all that stuff could still be me, but then like showing the built model, we could show two, theirs and mine, so you could get a better idea of what two people come out with. And then the review part, this section would end up being more like a Zoom call record, right? And everybody's seen those, but something along those lines so that I could get other people involved with the review and the build. I like other people's ideas. And so being able to talk to someone and get them on the show and you seeing that as well, I think would be fun. But there's a lot to figure out there. So if you have thoughts or ideas on those, feel free to throw them in the comments. If you poke around the YouTube interface somewhere, you can find the email address, but funwithgundam@gmail.com. It's not hard to remember. So shoot me an email if you want, and we'll go from there with it. But otherwise, I do always appreciate the comments and the feedback, and thanks for watching.